All routes lead to doom. Beta build. Slime Prince Glitched Edition by RimuruEdward6. Chapter 13. Katarina Clay's paw. Please, don't go. I whispered it before I could stop myself, before I could think of what it meant. And that was all it took. Rimuru stopped moving, stopped breathing. His body stilled, but something behind his eyes snapped. I saw it. A flicker. A glitch. Then a pulse of black-blue magic rippled under his skin like lightning. His golden eyes flickered, not dimmer, but sharper. Too bright. Too focused. And then he smiled. Not the real one. Not the one I trusted. Not the one that made me feel seen and safe. This smile was beautiful. And wrong. That's all I needed to hear. His voice was smooth, velvet and steel. Rimuru stepped forward, slow and steady, and every inch of my body screamed to move, to run, to do something. But I didn't. I couldn't. Because I knew this. This was him. The secret version of him. The dark prince from the path no one was meant to reach. He reached out, gently brushing the tear from my cheek with his thumb. "You've finally stopped pretending," he murmured. "So why are you still running?" "I'm not," I breathed, but the words caught in my throat. He tilted his head. "You said not to go. Do you really mean that?" His smile deepened. "Or do you just not want anyone else to have me?" His magic pulsed again. It wasn't violent, it wrapped around us like a cloak, warm and terrifying. There was no cruelty in his eyes. But there was no hesitation, either. He touched my chin, gently tilting my face toward him. "You said no one ever chose you, Katarina," he whispered, gaze burning. "But that's not true. I did." The world felt like it slowed. "And now, I'll make sure no one takes you away from me again." I gasped. But not from fear. From the terrible, dangerous truth blooming in my chest. Part of me still wanted to reach for him. Even like this. Nickel Askart's paw. I've always watched from the edges. That was my way. But I couldn't stay on the sidelines anymore. Not when I saw her, Katarina, standing frozen beneath the creeping shadow of him. Rimuru. He stood too close, his hand brushing her cheek, voice low and far too soft for the weight it carried. Not affection. Not comfort. Something possessive. Something wrong. The air rippled around him, thick with coiled magic. Not the elegant fire he usually wielded. This was darker, older, hungrier. Katarina wasn't smiling. She wasn't laughing. She looked like she was trying not to shatter. I moved before I thought. Get away from her. Rimuru didn't even look surprised. He turned toward me slowly, golden eyes burning. A prince in posture, a predator in silence. "Nickel Asgard," he said. Still watching. Still too late. I stepped in front of Katarina, raising a hand between them. "She doesn't want this," I said. "You're hurting her." He smiled, and it was beautiful, in that awful, cold way that made your stomach twist. "She asked me to stay. Now she doesn't get to take it back." I summoned my magic, sharp, controlled wind whirling to life around me. It lashed the ground, twisted the air, pulled at the edges of Rimuru's coat. It would have sent most people back. But Rimuru didn't even blink. He raised a single hand. No chant, no gesture, just a pulse. The magic that erupted wasn't loud. It didn't scream. It just hit, all at once, like the air was being pulled from my lungs, like my magic had turned against me. Wind collapsed around me midcast. My body went weightless. Then I was crashing, hard, against the stone wall of the courtyard. The impact knocked me flat. Pain lanced through my chest, my shoulder, my ribs. I tasted blood. Not fatal, not even permanent, but deliberate. Rimuru stood over me a moment later, his expression unreadable. "You shouldn't have done that," he said. "But I suppose even wind forgets its place sometimes." He crouched beside me, speaking low so only I could hear. "Next time, I won't just knock the air out of you." Then he stood, and walked back to her. As if I had never mattered. Katarina Clay's paw. Nickel hit the wall. Hard. And didn't get up. One moment, he was standing in front of me, wind magic swirling around him like a shield. The next, he was on the ground, blood at the corner of his mouth, the air knocked from his lungs, crushed. By Rimuru. I didn't even scream. I just froze. Because the Rimuru in front of me, the one turning back with calm eyes and that same soft, terrifying smile, wasn't mine. He wasn't the boy who asked me to garden. Or the one who said I mattered. Or even the one who kissed me and ran away. This was the version I'd read about. The one in that one ending no one talked about. The Dark Prince. He walked toward me, slow and certain. I told him not to interfere, Rimuru said calmly, brushing a bit of dust off his sleeve. He'll recover. I didn't break him, just reminded him where he stands. My heart pounded so loud I could barely hear anything else. You hurt him, I said, my voice barely audible. He tilted his head. I spared him. That wasn't comforting. I moved. Not away, forward. Right into his path. He blinked once, golden eyes flickering with surprise. You're still standing, he said softly. I swallowed hard. I should have done it sooner, I whispered. I should have said something. Chosen you. He froze. But I wasn't done. But I didn't think about what that meant. I didn't think about what it would do to you. Or to anyone. I looked back at Nickel, lying against the wall. Then forward again. To Rimuru, beautiful, terrifying, tragic Rimuru, the boy trapped between this world and whatever he used to be. I'm done running, I said. But I won't let you hurt the people I love to prove a point. He looked at me like he was calculating something. I only hurt him because he tried to pull you away, Rimuru said. And you asked me to stay. I did, I admitted. But not like this. Then I took a step closer. And I touched his hand. His magic crackled, sharp and cold, but I didn't let go. You're not this. You're not him. He flinched. And for just a second, I saw it. The glitch. The war inside him. And I wasn't going to let it win. His hand was cold. Not from temperature. From magic. From power thrumming just beneath his skin, restrained, barely, and only because I was touching him. And then he smiled. Not the soft, embarrassed smile I missed. Not the amused one he used when I said something ridiculous. Not even the sweet one he gave me when I talked about potatoes. This smile was too perfect. Too sharp. Too real. You know, he said, voice silk-wrapped steel, people in my world are either in awe of me, or terrified of me. I couldn't breathe. They call me the Chaos Creator. The strongest of all demon lords. His magic coiled tighter, like a storm wrapping around the world. I don't lose. I don't bow. And I don't let anyone take what's mine. My knees almost buckled. Not from fear. From the weight of it. The truth of what he really was. I could change fate itself, Katarina, he continued, golden eyes glowing brighter. I could rewrite this world into something that suits me. His hand slid from mine to my wrist, gentle, but with just enough pressure that I felt the threat behind it. I could take you to my country. His voice dropped lower, almost tender. Tempest would welcome you. No one would question it. Not a soul would dare try to take you from me there. He leaned close. You'd be mine. Entirely. Safely. Forever. The world around us stilled. And for the first time, I understood the kind of ending this really was. Not exile. Not death. Not even a broken heart. This was ownership. Wrapped in charm. Delivered with devotion. And I had let it happen. Because I wanted him. Because I reached for him. And now he was offering me his kingdom. His throne. His fate. At the cost of everyone else. And maybe even myself.